Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tamiya Willys MB Jeep build in 1/35th scale. It's been a little while since we worked on this one, but I think today we are going to give our seat cushions another coat of the khaki, and we are going to assemble our driver in this video. So let's go ahead and start with the driver. We've already given those a coat once. You guys know how that goes. But I'm interested in getting this figure put together. Looks like we got all the limbs, the head, and the helmet to put on the torso. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit easier to paint than the Stuka Pilot and Gunner, I think. Right there, we got to get the their head. And then the helmet. Alright, and then I'm going to put this off to the side so it's out of the way. I have to do a little bit of cleanup here. Nothing too major, it looks like. Until you drop the helmet on the floor. The round parts is struggle with the most, trying to keep a hold of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and sand off where that helmet's gonna sand some of that primer off where the head is here. I know where all the glue points are gonna be. We're gonna get rid of that primer so we get a good bond. Those two are done. Got the little arm that it's kind of up on the armrest of the seat, looks like, according to the picture. I just finished printing the, oh, what attempt is this on the M3 Lee suspension. I really struggled with my 3D model on that one. A lot of modeling errors on that. It's a very complex part, but it looks like it printed out just right. The only problem is it's surrounded by a cocoon almost of supports that the last one I printed, I ended up breaking the part trying to get it out of the supports. But it looks good. I'm hoping that I can successfully get that out of there and get that on the M3 Lee and proceed with that. Still need to do some more weathering on it. I wanted to do some streaking effects on it. It's interesting how that looked. I would have thought that'd be a... Let's see, where's the torso at? Am I missing? Oh, I bet the legs go... Ah, I gotcha. I see what you're saying here. Like that. And the torso glues on top of it. That's going to make life easier. I did not prime this very well. Must have been running out of primer in my gun. Oh no, I remember what. I had to go somewhere and I primed it quick. I remember now. this arm here that will sit on the, I think that one goes on the steering wheel. Yeah, that one holds the steering wheel a little bit. Any other burrs I need to take off of this one? Can't even hardly tell. Oh, the elbow is where it was attached. On the legs, it was just the feet and the... There we go. Get your foot sanded smooth on this side. And then the torso, we're gonna have to get rid of all this here. And then where the arms attach, that's... This one goes here. Yeah, they do kind of key in a little bit. Something like that. Let's see what you're doing. Oh, it's got to go downward. That's right. It's kind of relaxed pose on the armrest a little bit, like so. It looks like I might have to putty that arm a little bit to get rid of the... Check out the instructions here. I guess it's sitting on the side of the Jeep, actually. It's got a small key that goes in, but like that. There we go. All right, let's get our glue and get this fella together here. Oh, wait. We're gonna get rid of that burr by the neck. There, and we need to sand off this primer right here. Alright, and then we'll have to get our Jeep ready because we want to make sure that he's gonna hold on to the steering wheel proper. Let's go ahead and get the legs. This looks like it's going to be the easiest part. Right there. Let's get that glued together. Just want to use a little glue, just in case I got to pull it apart to align it better. Looks like some more puttying is going to have to be done. Yep, doesn't quite match up completely there. Not a big deal. And we'll get some more glue on it. And just follow these lines a little bit. That might help too. Set that off to the side. I'm going to grab a paper towel because I don't like to... I kind of got a little bit of primer on the brush, and I don't like to put it back in the tube when it's got anything on it. Just kind of wipe the brush off here. There we go. That makes me feel better. So we got that there. Let's see how our torso matches up here. Be this direction. Really not bad. Not too bad at all. Get a little bit more of that primer off here. Oh, it's starting to look like a driver now. I wonder if the seam line's supposed to... There we go. I had that messed up. Dumped that glue on there and reactivated what I did before. So it's kind of... That's interesting. Well, it might be because of the shirt overlapping the pants, because it kind of looks kind of weird, that seam there. But then if I'd rather have the back flush, I think, because that could be interpreted as a how your bottom of your shirt is just kind of folded a little bit. If I move it any further, then it won't match up in the back. And it looks like that's the way it is in the instruction anyway. There we go. Now it's got it in there. All right. Now I'll let that set a little bit. I'll take the... We'll get the Jeep over here. Of course, you won't have the seat to sit on. But we'll get an approximate. That way the hand is in about the right spot. Put it down like that. Putting it on the chassis because it's got this little box underneath there. And it won't sit straight. Well, oh, that's interesting. There we go. So that should be approximately where the driver's gonna sit. This arm should go straight down. Be right up to the steering wheel, aren't you? Of course, it'll be tipped forward a little bit more because of the seat height. I think we'll get this arm in place though. Now I can see it a little bit better. There's a triangular shaped notch and then it's bumped out triangular nub there. Try to match it up there. Not the easiest thing to do. It is proving. Uh, you can't tell this is the first 1/35th scale figure I've ever put together, can you? It's supposed to be facing down, according to the instruction. Looks like it should notch in right there. Like that. Boy, it's too bad I didn't have a third hand to place some glue there. That is where it needs to be. This one got some flash, don't you? This kit really hasn't had any. There we go. Might as well take care of that while we're at it, huh? That could be the reason why I'm having trouble with fitment as well. I think it's one of them deals where we're gonna... I plan on priming this over again anyway, giving it another coat because of the extra work that I needed to do on the... after messing up, not putting the handles and whatnot on. I can get it to just semi-stick for a second. Right there. There it is. Took a moment. And yeah, I see a few spots where I'm going to have to do some definitely do some puttying on the before painting it. Oh. Kind of at a weird angle the legs are. That it's there. I think that worked out for the best because it looks better than it did. I'll let that just set up for a little bit like that. And this arm, I guess it's not totally... doesn't really have a key on this one to... I'd say that's pretty darn good right there though. Yeah, that actually was pretty decent. There we go. Sure looks like the instruction book. Let's slide you in there quick and see how far off we are on that steering wheel. They'll end up going like that. A little high, ain't I? Just a bit high. I'm gonna bust your arm off. Let's try that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I think we got a winner there. So while you're sitting in your chair there, let's take this and put a little more glue in there. Let it set up for a little bit. So as you can see, he's pretty much holding the steering wheel, and he's got his arm on the... Nope. There. Let him fall. Trying to give you a visual. There we go. Anyways, this arm is resting on the rear quarter of the Jeep, and then the steering wheel is, the hand is on the steering wheel, as it should be. Excellent. So now we've got that glued on. Glad that's got some flex in that steering wheel. Yeah, I'll have to do some puttying around that arm and then around the waist and area, whatnot. This arm, actually, the seam is really nice. Now for the head, which has just got a, it's got a V-notch kind of, well, V-notch in there, and it's got kind of a V-nub right there. Let's get rid of some of that primer on the collar area so that it has something to bond to. And then the head, how we doing there? A little bit of a... Didn't really get the face primed very well. Now the lessons you learn when you build a model. Don't rush it. For me anyways, I tend to, if I rush things, I either go out of place or out of order trying to build something, or... Oh, the head fits on nice. That's going to be great. Or I end up having to redo it later for sure. There we go. Get some more glue on there. Took me a little bit to get, there we go. Took me a little bit to get the head into place. But there's that. And then last step will be to put the helmet on him. Oh, that's awesome. I can see you need to get rid of this primer around the inner part of this helmet though. I could have avoided all this cleanup if I would have just built the figure. Wasn't sure what the paint colors would be though for the Jeep. I'm not very familiar with the Jeep. And get all that out of there. So I didn't know that the frame and the engine and pretty much everything was olive drab. I thought the frame would be like black and kind of like a model car would be. But come to find out, if I would have done my research first, I would have known. Oh, almost lost it. That didn't have the helmet the right direction either. That's no good. Gotta put it on the right way. Awesome, there we go. Well, this I bet ended up being a longer video than it should have been. I don't think, yeah, half an hour of building a driver for the Willys. I did have somebody make a comment on one of my Jeep videos. I've always heard it called Willys. I grew up hearing it called Willys. But they erased their comment. I'm not sure why they did that. But it came through my email notification. But then when I went to respond to it, it was, they must have taken the comment off. But they said that it was pronounced Willis. Like Bruce Willis, is their exact words were like, it's supposed to be pronounced like Bruce Willis's name, not Willys. And so I consulted the Google, and I'd never heard it called Willis before, but I guess the owner, the creator of the Jeep, he pronounced his last name Willis. I did not know that. But it's kind of used interchangeable, kind of like tomato, tomato, you know. I've heard people, now that I'm aware of it, I've heard people pronounce it both ways. So, I don't know. It's one of those deals. I'm so trained in my brain to call it a Willys. But, I guess, yeah, Mr. Willis pronounced his name Willis instead of Willys. But they also said online that the factory workers called it a Willys Jeep. So it's kind of one of those, what do you call it type things. So I don't know. I guess it's probably interchangeable. Not sure. But But yeah, it's interesting to find those things out years later. I never was, never really was, I guess I can say interested. I always liked the World War II era Jeeps, but like the newer Jeeps today, you know, I don't know. I've always heard it called Willys, I guess. So it kind of stuck to my brain, but that is an interesting story. So I'm glad that the person who put the comment on there brought that to my attention, because I always like background stories on stuff in history. So it was kind of cool to read that after I looked it up online. So, but anyways, this has gone longer than it should have. But here's our figure. I have to do a little bit more work to him. We'll do some putty and whatnot before we paint it. But I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.